Good morning, guys and dolls. Today I am, or this morning, whatever you want to call it, I am going to be doing brakes and brake discs. That's pads and discs on the front of BMW Series 1 or 1 Series. I keep getting told off which way around that goes, but we called it a 1 Series, Series 1. So we know we're talking about a BMW 2012. We're going to be doing the front discs and pads, as I said. The pads were put on a year ago. Pads are still good, but the discs are not very good. And it got a slight vibration through the pedal. So we've got front and rears, but what we're going to do this morning anyway is do the fronts. Might not have time to do the rears, as we're going to go to see Grace's friend, who's having a barbecue with distancing for her birthday, so we need to go and see her this afternoon. So I'm going to go and have a look at these pads. This is on the Weiss BMW, so that's what we're going to do, is go and have a look, change the pads and discs. Without further ado, let's go and have a look. Okay, first things first, we've got to loosen the wheels. Always loosen them on the ground, because when you lift them up, obviously on the fronts, when you try to undo the wheel nuts, the wheels turn around. Obviously there's a locking wheel nut, so we'll need to use that. Okay, so as you can see, the pads are pretty good in here, but as I said, we're going to have a little bit of a brake wobble. Just don't look very good, or not that bad, but not fantastic. But anyway, on the back of here, I take the caliper off. Some people take the caliper. I take the caliper off first. Some people take the caliper carrier off with the caliper. Doesn't really matter. Now there's two caps on the back of here, dust caps, as you can see. I'm hoping you can see this, my hands are not in the way. So there's two dust caps come off. Keep them safe, because obviously you need to put them on. In here is a spline. It's a T50. This is a spline tool, and it fits into the carrier holder, the bolts that hold it all together. Now, hang on a minute, let's just bring it around a bit, and yeah, we're lucky. This is not, I mean, they're nice and tight. I always put it back together and then we torque. So yeah, that's all coming off okay. They're loose and that. Right, I've got my socket jammed on there. That's a bit silly. You know that sound. Right, there we go. Can get the button off. So yeah, take these out of here. Like that. What we're going to do as well is we're going to we have a look at the top. We're going to take the top of the brake master cylinder off. Do not give loads of room, but people struggle to get by. I don't know why. I don't know why I struggle really. I suppose I could have got it closer, but I didn't. Oh dear. That's what they call buffing this. I don't know if you can, I'm not in the way too much. And as I said, you take these out. There we go. So yeah, it's got a spline on the end. In actual fact, it's not actually a spline, this one's an Allen key one. But obviously the spline tool fits as well. But it's funny, sometimes you've got to undo these all the way, and other times they just fall out, you know, undo easy. He's not going to want to. Right, so I think our next thing is we're going to take the cover off the master cylinder. Okay, let's just get a bolt out. Now they go through a rubber and they get a little bit stiff to come out, but there we go. We'll drop that. Always make sure these are not this one's okay, but make sure they're not too pitted and free, because this is what the caliper slides on, so you don't know problems with that. Okay, well, we've got a 10mm socket, extension and ratchet. Let's go up the top and have a look. Okay, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. There we go. That's the where you go to the positive of the battery terminal, so you can use that as a jump start, you know, one on there and one onto the earth for the bodywork. We're going to actually take this cover off because, as I said, I want to take the top off the master cylinder. Reason being is when you turn the when you pull the pistons back, push the pistons back on the brakes, the brake pistons that we'll be looking at better in a minute. What happens is sometimes well, these are locking ones, so you just turn them, look, they're not even bolts. There you go, look. And then there's a little clip in here, squeeze it in, pull it out. And here's the master cylinder, there's plenty of fluid in there, so what we do is we loosen this off a little bit, and then any fluid comes out we'll go over the top. If we split it, we're going to have to get some hot water on it and sort that out. We usually just get trapped under there, it needs a bit of a clean out sometimes, but anyway, so that's that. So go back down here. As I said, when the can we see there? Yeah. Okay, so as I said, we push the piston back. When you push the piston back, the fluid goes back up to the system. Now we're not worried about discs or the pad, so we're not worried about damage. So what we do is we take apart, like just a nail up against the pad. It's a bit far away actually. You can very often see it's coming in anyway if you put it by hand, but I struggle a little bit. So pull the pad back like that, and then you can see the piston going back in, like so. Pull the piston right in, and then you won't struggle to get the cap off. Now I'm putting that forward because I'm going to go in between the back. Yeah, it's right back. So as I said, you know, pull the pads back. Now you can see that all moves now, nice and loose. You've got a clip in here, anti-clip. That's a bit of steering's gone back on. Okay. So like I said, there's a clip in there. Yeah, so there's a clip in here, anti-rattle clip, and you just pull it out. So you just push him back, look, and he just falls out. So that's the anti-clip, that stops it all anti-rattling. This now we'll pull off, as you can see. Put this up somewhere safe. You don't want it dragging on the, pulling onto the brake pipe, flexi brake pipe. I normally chuck them up there. That won't fall down because there's no strain on that. Pads, like I said, plenty of meat on them. They already changed a year ago, but the discs are not looking fantastic. There's a bit of a lip on there, you can see all the lines like a record player, the old record vinyls, if you know what I mean. It feels like a bigger gap at the back. We'll have a look when we get them off. So yeah, and what we need to do is turn the steering the other way because we need to take the caliper carrier off. That wasn't a bridge, was it? Just fell down. We'll stick them up under there, because as long as that's not pulling, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I tie them up, gets a spring or whatever, but we're not now. Now then, did I bring the right size socket? I don't think I did. I think I've left that. Yeah, right, we need a 19, so I'm going to go and get a 19. Okay, so like I say, take these 2 bolts out the back, and normally pretty tight. Oh, they are tight. I might need a blow on this. Let's just have a look. Nope, okay. Okay. So we'll have these out of there. And this is the BMW 1 Series. It's the Sport. I should have left that in there really, but we're not. So the F20 and X21 are the same. And that's funny, and that bolt is a bit tighter. That's all really cat-handed. Okay, now this really wants to fight you all the way. Really. It's dulling up a bit, so I hope it don't rain. Okay, so we'll get that bolt out as well. And as I said, that's the carrier. Get that a little clean in a minute. Always watch this ABS why I don't break it. And then out the front we have an Allen key bolt. Look at that, straight on. I don't think it's going to turn because I think it's locked. The silly thing with this, it keeps. I don't need the keys in it because they're automatic locking. Not I've ever had it locked yet, but you know, you never know, do you? Okay, so I'm going to have to turn the steering around a minute and I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've got an Allen key screw in here that retains the brake disc. I'm hoping it's going to come undone. Yeah, we're lucky. So it's not too bad. It doesn't have to be too tight. It's just centralise the brake disc really. So that comes off. It's only a tiny bolt. It's got a recess in the bolt to fit in the disc. So yeah, and that's your disc. As I say, it's a bit rough around there. Oh look, there's a bit of a, you see a mark there where the disc has made marks. It's been grabbing there, look. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the marks all the way around there. Look, it's been grabbing and pitting. So it's time for new discs. Now then, always make sure it's just clean. What I'm going to do is grab some tissue. Okay, so as I say, we're going to give that a little bit of a clean. Now it's not rusty, so we don't need no wire brushes or nothing. What I tend to use is a brake cleaner. This is an Apex one. Just a little bit around there. It doesn't hurt because it dries quick as well. It smells good as well. And what you do is give that a nice little wipe round. A little bit more. As I say, make sure it's nice and clean. You know, there's nothing, so the disc goes on easy. Just have a little bit more around there. As I said, this toy's quick. Now I can see someone's do what I do and put copper slip around it, the anti-seize. Always make sure you don't get this on the brake faces, because it won't do it no good. So have a little bit of copper slip around the edge of the, just so it's anti-seize, it helps it. I'm going to use a bit of rag to rub that in because I don't know on my fingers really. So it just goes around like that, look. Don't put too much on because just when you go along the road it's just going to fly everywhere. Like I said, it's only on here. Not everybody uses this, everybody's their own. Just like that. So a little bit, like I said, don't use too much. Now the brakes we're using are the APEC make. Let me just go. Those come well sealed in plastic, as well as the box. I'm not showing you the box as undoing it, there's no point. Okay. So just looking over this box. Right. So as I said, it's so you can see APEC front disc. Okay, so like I said, a bit of copper slip, not too much. Make sure it's clean in the centre, slide it on. I like all this black around here, a man event, because obviously these are vented discs. So that all goes on nicely. Tighten up your bolt, and there you go. Now what I excuse me, tend to do is I'll get a cloth or tissue, and then we'll clean it up. So I use, today I'm using tissue or tissue roll, doesn't matter which, and I normally just give it a wipe round, and I'll give it a wipe round after as well, just to make sure. I mean, we're going to get some more marks in it, but just to make sure. And what I'll do is I'll give it a quick wipe round like that. And I'll do the inside as well, as I said, and then when we turn it, as I said, that's your disc on, all good. So we'll turn that and then we'll put all the rest back together, so it's all back together as it, you know, in reverse. So it's a nice brand new disc. Let me just turn the steering. Now you might hear the car dinging, it's because I've got the ignition on so I can turn the steering, and it's dinging, ding ding ding, because it's saying the bonnet, so well, we know that. And then what I do is I always look around the back, just to make sure it's nice and clean. And don't do what I just did, spray it in your face. Spray it in your face, lubricate your face. As I said, it's all been black down there and black down there, which is good, so it won't rust straight away. This part where you can't do anything about. So yeah, and then what you do then is, there's your carrier. I always give it a quick clean, make sure it's all looking good. Don't need a wire brush. Sometimes I have to use a wire brush just to get the muck off, but we don't need that on here. And then you fit this back on there. What am I doing? Talking. Right, round the right way, and it fits better. And then you just got to line those up. So some people do it with the caliper still connected. I find it a bit difficult myself because, you know, it's quite heavy. But hey, each to their own. Right, there it is. Or is it? Yeah. And a little bit on the top one. Do them up evenly. because they go quicker otherwise. Then you'll be wondering why you can't get your pads in. I mean, you don't have to be a lot out, but just enough out, and then the pads won't run properly. Plus the fact that this will come loose again. So always make sure you finger tighten them up. I'm not putting copper slip on you. Some people do, I'm not. So yeah, so that's that. That's that. I'm gonna get you. That's it. Oh, always helps if you put the right size socket on. So again, 19. Okay. Making sure they're square. And then you can put your brake pads in. You'll find a nice new brake pads. I don't know if we can see much. What have I done with the old one? So, yeah. You can't really see too much, but you know, as I said, it's worn. Pads are not bad. We said that already. You know, they're still good. I mean, there's still meat on them. There's still life in them. But the new ones are slightly fatter, but not a lot. It's not a lot of. It's a bit of a mark in the middle. Even the other one's not bad. Right, so just make sure that's free, which it is. Nice and easy to go in. And the other one. So obviously that pad's in the wrong place, as a lot of you know. I mean, this one, oh, make sure they're free, but they won't come out. That's because I'm not putting it properly. That's the anti-rattle pad on the back, and they go that way because what happens is the new one that goes on the inside. I'll just get rid of that old one and pick up the new one. I've got a spring clip on. Okay, so pull your caliper out. Caliper's clean enough, and that then you see this. Can you see this? I open you can. Oh, look. Yeah, you can. There's 3 clips, and what you do is just push it in gently like that, and then that was partly led down just so you can see. Right, and then what you do is you pull that up into there, and that goes into there. Look, you can see it's all nice and level. Everything's good. And then what you do is you get your Allen key screws. Now these, I give them a clean. Oh, something just stuck on my knee. Right, give them a quick brush up. Bit of a rag. And what I do, as I said, don't use too much when you put these together. But put a little bit of copper slip on them. That's what I tend to do, just to make sure it's sliding nicely. You don't need loads, but what it does is just make sure that goes in and out of there properly. You don't want them seizing up, especially when you've done all this work. Like I said, don't put too much on them. Okay, not one in the top like that. And what we do is get my hands a little bit. Get your spray tool and hand tool come in again, or start them. I'm going to have to get a slight angle because I can't. It's always a way in it when you want to push them in. Have a look. Oh, what always helps, okay, is to make sure you get the right size tool, because if you don't get the right size tool, they ain't going to go in, no matter what you do. Right, there you go. And that's the problem with talking sometimes. You need to make sure you get it right. You don't make mistakes, especially on bikes. as I say, tighten them up. And what I tend to do is at the end is I just run through where I am and what I've done, so you shouldn't get any problems. As I said, the other side's got the sensor. When you put pads in, I mean these pads are like new, so that sensor around the other side, right, it's not going to be bad at all. I mean it's going to, you know, end of no miles, so it ain't going to be touching nothing yet. I mean there's a sensor to put the light on and say, hey, your brake pads are getting low. Now, just I tap them, I mean, and I'll tighten them properly. Now, that's already on one side. Change them, they're only about, I think they're 10 quid it cost me. 5-10 quid, something like that. And it's a peace of mind, everything's new. And then tighten them up. Now what I'll do is I'll get the torque wrench out in a minute, just do that myself. I've got a small torque wrench for that. And then what you need then is the this piece, remember, the anti, which goes in here. I was going the right way. Sometimes you've got to think, is it right? Right, you just should be able to push that in there. We're going to have to use a screw like that thing. Let me just sit down here a second. Right. One goes in there. One goes in there. And what you need to do sometimes is give a little persuade and that. Right? Just a little tap, look. That's gone in. Make sure they're in all the way they need. Ooh. Slip there, don't I? Okay. It's not going in properly. Let's try again. Oh, you went in straight away that time. So it clips into here, round the back, that goes that side. That's in there nice and tight. It's gone in there, look. That's all good. So set you back. I'm sorry about you wobbling, but try and set you back up like it was, which it doesn't. Isn't that weird? But that does. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's all back together. Turns nice, brakes nice. Now, the other thing you must do is press the pedal a few times to get the pedal hard again, because you push the pistons back, the pedal will be soft. So you need to press that, bring the pads up, because otherwise when you start driving you've got a brake, you won't have a brake. So make sure that you press the pedal several times, and that will tighten up. So we're going to tighten this up, make sure it's tight with a torque wrench, which I'm going to go and get now and tighten that up. And then what we'll do is we'll check the brake fluid, make sure it's where the level's gone, and then we'll go around and do the other side. Now the other side, I'm not going to show you how to do this bit because you already know, you've just seen it. So we're not going to do everything. But that's how you do your front brakes. Exactly the same on the other side, except we've got the wire, which I will show you, the sensor, which comes up and goes on the back and plugs in. We'll do that on the other side in a minute, but that's that side. Nice new disc, all up together. Don't forget to pump your pedal. Keep saying it, but don't forget to pump that pedal. Years and years and years ago, when I was apprenticed, boss gave me a job to do, which I did. He come round and looks and says, yeah, all good. So I get him down off the ramp, because it was on the ramp so he couldn't get in it. Back off the ramp, press the foot on the pedal, oh dear, it went down. You do panic a little bit, pumped it again, and it starts getting hard. As it is, there's plenty of room in that, but you know, I was apprenticed, silly thing to tell you, but it's true. And from experience, make sure you always pump that pedal. It's just that, you know, that first initial brake, it goes down a long way, and you go, oh, and you have to pump it again, come straight up. But do it before you start. So yeah, that's that. So we're going to do that now. Let me just so yeah, it hasn't come up much. Still looking good. I mean the maximum's there, so we're still looking good. So we'll go around and do the other side. I'm going to tighten the side up, put the wheel back on, and we'll go around and turn it around and do the other side, and then we'll show you. Okay, so there's the disc. It was getting bad. It's a bit of marking on the side there. If you can see it, yeah, you can there, look. It's actually like grabbing. And then we're outside there. There you go. You can see all the pitting and the grabbing. So that's part of the problem. I'm going to set this up somehow. Let's see if I can do it like that. Right. So now we have to do this cable. That's a great end. It goes up in here behind the box. There's the box. You can clips like that, which is quite easy. Open them up. There. Like so. Then you can see which one's which, and if you're not sure, I pulled out the pad there, follow it up, over the back, it's in that one, so pull that out like that, and if you squeeze them together and pull, it normally will come out, but it doesn't want to today. Let me just double check, because some of them are different. Okay, this one's a different one. This one you don't pull, you actually pull that piece out of there, which isn't going to happen. So we'll get a little screwdriver. Sorry about all the wobbling around, but you might as well. As I can't hold it out. Actually, I wonder if I can sit this up there. So you can see. Can I bring that down so you see? Where's it gone? Nope, I can't. Oh, there we go. There we go. So that pulls out of there, like that. You see that? Lift that up, and then pull that back, and it comes out. So there's the old one. There's your cable. Make sure you put it around the right side. All right. Then you put it on, and then what you do is you get the new one, which is this piece. Okay. Just have a look in here. As I said, make sure you go around the right side of the bits and pieces. If you have a look in there and inside that one, you can see there's a little piece in there, and there is one in there. So there's a little bit there, and there's one in there, but you've got a bit of a job to see it. But then you just push that, and not only that, there's a hole on the top, okay, there, which is for the clip, and there's one on there, there. So just push that until it clicks. There you go. I don't know if you heard that, but it clicked. And then all you have to do then is, I hope it's not wobbling the camera too much for you, but and that goes into there again, and you push it in to a slot like that. Get this back around that brake bracket and plug it back on, and there it is. That's that bit. And then you get your new cable, and it goes on that side there, so it comes around here. Are we looking in the air, or what are we doing? I don't know. And there's a little slot in there, like a little slot in there that fits into the bracket. Ooh, there, like that. Then there's the cable there. Pull that out because we don't want that no more. And then that goes. Same again. Into there. Come down here. Dust cover for brake bleed nipple. And take that off. That comes your old one. New one goes behind there. Before we do that, right, make sure the big lump goes towards the disc, because that's the sensor part, not the other way around. I don't even know if it go the other way around, it won't. So it goes in one way. There's copper goes in there, which is earths it out, and it puts that in until it clicks there. Did you hear it click? So that clicked, and then you put your desk cover on, and there you go. So as I said, pushes in there easy, comes around, goes through there. If you want it pulled a little bit, put it a little bit, put it in your room, comes up there, onto there, through that little box, and that is it. And then don't forget to press your brake pedal. Nice new pads. Oop, where are we going? There we are, nice new pads, nice black disc, and there you go. So press the brake pedal, check the fluid level, and we're away. So that's what we're going to do next, is put the wheel on, press the brake pedal, and then we'll let you know what they're like. I'm just going to show you what I mean. There's the brake pedal, go right down to the floor, look. And the second pump, nope, it's hardly moves at all now. So that's what I mean. And then we're just looking here, it's not overflowing, and it's there, and it's just on the bottom of the filter, right on the mark, so we're all good. And all you do then is put cover on, job done, and then we're going to road test.